So the other day, Hypixel added a new game to the server called Skyblock. As of right now, it's got more players than Bed Wars. And with more and more new players joining, that means more and more players are going to join and have no idea what they're doing. So today, I'm going to be making sort of a guide on what to do on your first time on Skyblock. So there are 7 main things in the menu. There's your skills, collection, recipe book, trades, quest log, calendar, and your ender chest. The ender chest is basically, an ender chest. You can access it anywhere via the nether star in your inventory at all times. Calendar is just for events. The quest log is to keep track of what the tasks at hand are. Trades are, trade one item for another item. You can do that. The recipe book shows the recipes that you unlock from the collection menu. Collections are based on how many of each item in each category you collect. So let's say I have 50 cobblestone. I would unlock a recipe in the cobblestone menu for the mining collection, and it would be available in the recipe book here. Collection is just a way to keep track of all the things you've unlocked. And your skills, there are 7 skills. There's farming, mining, combat, foraging, fishing, enchanting, and alchemy. There's 25 levels to each skill. So right now, I have 100 HP. Health is your total maximum health, your hearts. Defense reduces the damage you take from enemies. Strength increases the damage you give to enemies. Speed makes you faster, obviously. Crit chance is the % chance that you get to deal extra damage to an enemy. Crit damage is the amount of damage that you deal to the enemy while doing a critical hit. And intelligence basically means your mana. I'll get to mana in a little bit. For now, I'm just gonna follow the objective on the right, which is to break a log. And the next one will be make a crafting table, and then after that will be make a pickaxe. And as you can see, when I'm breaking the logs, I'm getting +6 foraging. So you can go view it at your skills and go to foraging, and it says I have 18 out of 50 XP to the next level. I'm gonna craft a pickaxe and an axe, and I'm gonna chop the rest of this tree down because we need a bridge to talk to the guide on the other island over there. And don't worry if your tree drops no saplings, because at the village there's an entire place for just getting wood. Basically, you're not limited to your island in Hypixel Skyblock. There's plenty of other ways to get resources that you need, and it's not just limited to that singular island. I need to talk to the guide. And now, we're going to go through this portal that will take me to practically everything. So here we are at the village. What I'm going to do first is on the right, it says talk to the villagers. So I'm just going to go ahead and talk to each one. You can check if you haven't talked to them yet, because they would still have the green particle effect above their head. Now, I forgot that you want to talk to Jamie and claim your rogue sword, because every time you right-click this rogue sword, you get a slight speed boost, and from that speed boost, it uses mana. That mana regenerates slowly over time, so of course you don't have to use potions or any of that. Alright, what I'm going to do next is, since I got quite a few coins from completing that quest, I'm going to go ahead and go to the mine merchant. I'm going to throw out my pickaxe because I won't need it anymore, because we're going to buy the promising pickaxe. This pickaxe is really good because it gets more and more efficiency levels as you break more and more blocks with it. But before going to the mine, you want to talk to the blacksmith, because he'll ask you to get 10 coal from this mine over here. I'm going to go ahead and get 10 coal real quick. As you can see, I completed the objective and I got my mining level up by 1. So now I have a 4% chance to get double ores while mining. I gained 1 defense, and I now have access to the gold mine, which we will go to later. So I'm going to talk to the blacksmith now, and I'm going to reforge my rogue sword. You don't have to do this, but it would very much help you. After you reforge your sword, I'm going to head over to the gold mine. Once I'm at the gold mine, I'm going to try and do the lazy miner quest. So first, you have to talk to the lazy miner, find his pickaxe, his pickaxe should be right here. All you gotta do is mine 1 ingot of either, and then you just mine until you're level 5. You can head back and enchant this pickaxe at the librarian. You don't have to, though. Now that I got mining level 5, I'm going to head to the deep caverns, and this is where you want to be careful. The mobs in the deep caverns get super strong. So before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and make myself some iron armor, so I have at least a little bit of protection from the mobs. In the deep caverns, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and talk to the lift operator, which is on your right as soon as you enter the mine. And after you talk to him, you're going to find your way down to the Lapis Quarry, which is just around the corner, and then come down here. Now you want to be super careful around this area because the zombies that are down here are super strong if you're just in regular iron armor. That's also why you want to kill the zombies that are down here, because they have one of the most important sets of armor in the game right now that pretty much everybody has. There's a super low chance to get one, but I seriously recommend grinding. Be careful of the pigmen here because they can shoot some really, really bad projectiles at you, and they follow you everywhere you go, so I'm gonna be real careful around this area because mobs do quite a ton of damage. Once you reach the Obsidian Sanctuary, you don't have to collect obsidian as of right now. Once you reach the Obsidian Sanctuary, you want to go ahead and go back to your private island, go back to the hub. You want to go to the lumber merchants, and then if you can, buy the promising axe, because it's basically the same thing as the promising pickaxe, except, you know, an axe. You want to talk to the lumberjack and then get a few logs. You can always keep track of what you need to do on this side of the screen, especially if it's an amount that you need to acquire. After you get that, go back and talk to the lumberjack, and then he'll give you a way better axe. You don't have to warp to the floating islands just yet, but if you want to do that and continue the lumberjack's quest, then you can go ahead and do that. You want to go head over to the farm, which is on the northeast side of spawn. You want to talk to the farmer first. You're going to break as much wheat as you can and level up your farming a few times so you get extra HP, and then talk to him again. And it's also nice to go over here every once in a while because there's a dirt trade that you can get when you have seeds. Now you should be able to warp to the barn, which can get you a lot more resources. This is probably the easiest place to unlock minion crafts, so I would come back here often. And then the last thing you want to do before returning to your island again is you want to go southwest to spawn, turn right a little bit, and then talk to the bartender. After you talk to the bartender, go ahead and kill 10 zombies and then talk to him again. Also, the graveyard is pretty much the place to level up your combat skill. So if you want to do more damage to mobs, then this is the place for you. After you've done your combat skill, you are free to return back to your island. Now let's talk about minions. Minions can be attained after you collect enough material to craft the recipe. Minions can be attained by unlocking the craft and having enough materials for the craft. As you can see, I crafted a tier 1 iron minion, and you need 3 more minions to unlock your 6 minion slot. What I would recommend is going back, farming a lot of different foods such as like carrots, potatoes, and make as many minions as you're able to craft through farming. It's pretty grindy, but it's a good way to unlock minion slots, which you will need in the future. So pretty much that's what I did on my first day, and now I'm going to get into some tips that can definitely help you along the way. So this may not save you some time, but it'll help in the future in regards to accessing the entirety of Skyblock. You don't have to, but I would recommend grinding farming levels, and I would also recommend grinding combat levels so you can access the entirety of Skyblock without having to go back and do all this over again. The next tip is if you see any of these rainbow looking heads, right click on them. Please right click on them. They're called fairy souls, and you can go find the fairy, talk to her in the wilderness, which is southeast of spawn, and in return for 5 fairy souls, the fairy will give you a slight stats boost, which can definitely help you in the long run. If you go around the lobby, you'll see quite a few people wearing lapis armor, which is the blue dye colored pieces of leather armor, and a sea lantern on their head. When you have a full set of lapis armor, you get 60 extra health, and you get double the amount of XP when you mine ores. It's pretty much one of the greatest sets of armor out there right now, and I would definitely recommend trying to grind for it if you have time and if you're patient enough, and especially if you have a luck sword. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, please don't be afraid to ask me in the comments. I'll try to respond to most of them. And if you want me to do some more like in-depth kind of guide on what to do when grinding or mining or just getting armor, then make sure to let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.